Hey guys, this is Chris with the 7-Minute Fix, and it's time for a new project. Today we're going to be making a promo for a children's ministry. If you want to go ahead and go to the internet to fontsquirrel.com, we're going to download a font very quickly. Search for Airstream. Now FontSquirrel is 100% free and commercial use. We can use it for anything that we want, and all we got to do is download that over here. They have a ton of cool fonts that you can download at any time, and we're just going to open that and install it really quickly. On Mac it's very easy. On a PC there are ways just to drag it into the fonts folder. But now we're going to go to cavewall.com. Cavewall is a great website that has some stock photos that are free to use. They're HD quality, and there's a lot of great different ones. These are some of the electric photos. I use these a lot for youth backgrounds. Sometimes you can do them completely unedited just because of how great they look. But what we're actually looking for is a space background. So let's go back here. We're going to choose Smoke 2. And if you scroll down, you'll see this one right here. This one looks really cool. It's actually just smoke, but it looks like it's great out in outer space, especially when we get it zoomed in a little bit. So let's go ahead and just click on this, and we're going to save it to our downloads folder. And now we're going to go to clicker.com. So the very last part we need, we're going to search for a rocket. We need a cool little animated looking rocket, and this is one I already knew was here. So we're going to click download, and we want to make sure and get the large file size there, and we're going to right click and save image to downloads. Now let's go ahead and get out of Safari, and we're going to go into Photoshop here. But if you look up here in our right hand corner, we've got the rocket ping and the space JPEG. The rocket, since it's a ping file, already the background is gone, so that makes it real easy for what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and make a new file in Photoshop. We're going to call this Blast, and as you see, the width is 1024 and the height is 768. So let's change that real quick to film and video. It's 1280 by 720, makes it HD size. Alright, next up, let's place our space JPEG in. We're going to have to make it a little bit bigger, of course, so go ahead and hold shift and drag that to make that a lot bigger. I'm going to center it up to where it looks like space, and that looks great. Really don't want to edit or change that any. Next, let's go ahead and let's put our text here. The name of the children's ministry is called Blast, and using our Airstream font, we're going to pump this up to about 300. Let's do a little bit bigger than that. Let's go to about a 450, and let's just drag this down and make sure everybody can see it. Okay. So now we've got that. Let's put that kind of over here to the side where we're going to like it. We're going to make another text file. This is going to be a lot smaller. Now they use Blast as an anagram, and it stands for Bible Learning and Sharing Together. So let's go ahead and put that out underneath. A lot smaller, obviously, and it's probably actually still too big. So let's go ahead and select that and change the size down a little bit more. That's probably almost good right there. Okay, well, let's move it over some, and what we're going to do next is move that. We want to kind of line up that part, kind of going with the angle at the back of the B to match up kind of a diagonal line there. Now next up, we want to make a line. This line just kind of to go in between Blast and Bible Learning and Sharing Together to make it kind of noticeable that they are two separate things, but yet they stand for the same thing. So let's just drag this out here real quick while we're zoomed in. We can adjust it until we get it up there. We're going to move that up. And let's fix this here. Oh, I did it the wrong way. Let me go back and let's try that again. Get the tool to work. There we go. Now, we'll drag that to make it about the same size. Okay, now if we zoom out, now we can see that it's lined up pretty well, and I like that a lot. So next up, we need to place our rocket and put it here how we want. It's probably going to be a little bit smaller, yeah. So let's go ahead and flip it. I want it to go the other way, kind of with that same diagonal that Blast is moving in the edge of that B. Let's make it a little bit bigger and move it over even more. That is good right there. Okay, now we need to make one more last text file I forgot about. This is going to say when it is. It's every Wednesday night, and it's at 7:30 p.m. So let's put that underneath here. And I kind of like that where it's centered like that. It will jump out and still be noticeable, and it doesn't necessarily go with the flow, but it still matches, still has that italic, so it still goes with the same diagonal to the right. Next up, we need to make a drop shadow. So just like before, double click down at the bottom. Let's move these up here. And the rocket is going to be the first thing, and then what we'll do is after we find something to match the rocket, we'll make all of the text files match the same shadow. This time obviously we're doing a drop shadow instead of an inner shadow. We want it to have a little bit more depth since we're here in space, so probably 17, 22, 7. Let's adjust that distance right there. It looks a little bit big on that small text. Let's go ahead and do this also for the date. All right, and so let's go ahead and put these numbers in here again. We've got 17, 22, 7. Again, that distance is going to be a little bit less than that. We want to make sure it looks still shadow, but not too much. A little bit more. There we go, like that. Okay, and lastly, we've got to do blast. This one's going to be a lot bigger, so we'll probably keep it the same as the rocket. Yeah, that looks great. So we'll just keep that right there, and let's go ahead and do the line also. Since everything else has a shadow, let's give everything in depth and do it for the line in between blast and Bible learning and sharing together. After we get that finished, we should be done. So let's go ahead and hit OK. We'll save that, and here we go with our final product. Again, thanks for joining me for the 7-minute fix. Come back next time and see what else we're going to learn. Comment below if you have any suggestions.